Okay, so we are going to this next video. So I noticed in the last video that now I no longer have I do have my other camera, but it got crazy. The USB cable or USB plug doesn't work on it anymore, so I'm gonna have to do it from my cell phone until I get a new camera. Okay, so the last one was the last three of the tips and tricks. It was energy basketball, the countdown, and talking to your drugs. And so those are good. You know, you want to. I mean, if you really do use those, you will find significant. You know, your willpower will start to build, and you'll have a little bit more control over your addiction, and you'll probably find yourself becoming more functional as an addict. So now we're going to go over the pre-meditation checklist, suggestions, and warnings. Now this is important because we're going to talk about some of the odd things that may happen during meditation to be aware of, and we're going to talk about meditation postures, things to do to get into a good meditative state, that kind of a thing. So, alright, so you're here now, you're listening to this video, and you want to start meditating. So these are a few things you might want to know before you actually start meditating. Now, my suggestions are that, especially for addicts, especially for people that are trying to get off their drug, and who are sincerely, venturing to use meditation as a means for, addiction recovery. So the first point is to be sober when you meditate, or at least be as sober as possible. If you're, earnestly trying to get off of your drug of choice, and you're meditating while you're high, number one, it's not going to be a good meditation. I can guarantee you that. Drugs have a tendency to bring your meditations into an uncontrollable realm. They're not going to be effective meditations. There are exceptions in a sort of way, and that's hallucinogens. We've talked about those. But you really don't meditate with hallucinogens. You set your intention previous to the use of the hallucinogen, and then you use it. When we talk about like ayahuasca treatments, ibogaine treatments, the astounding effect that ketamine has on addiction, we're talking about people that go into these experiences in a controlled environment with people that know what they're doing. They have, the setting is right, the lighting is right, everything is right, and their intention is set on resolving their issues with addiction. That's why hallucinogens work for addiction control and for addiction recovery, but only under a controlled setting. So, for the rest of you who are using heroin and coke and meth, and if you have problems drinking or whatever, and you're trying to kick those habits, you want to go into your meditative practices as sober as possible. The second thing is try to have a set time that you do it every day. At least have some time where you know that you are okay to be able to set aside and meditate for half hour to an hour. Now, with addicts, this can be tricky, especially if your day, I remember my days, dude, I would wake up first thing in the morning, I would call my drug dealer, sitting in a parking lot, 5 hours later he shows up, my whole day gets thrown off, I'm late for work, whatever. I understand how that happens. So you're going to want to find a time where you've had your fix, and you're not quite getting sick yet, but you're not still high, and you're at a relatively normal mindset. That's when you want to do your meditations. The second thing is you want to find a quiet place. I know, especially when you're into the drug scene and you're living with people that are doing drugs, and you're involved with a lot of people, and you're jumping from place to place, it's really hard to find a quiet spot. But it's crucial that you do. Whether it's a park beach that you know of that's quiet, that you can just walk to at 3 o'clock every day. Or, you know, you can, heck dude, I bet if you had a friend like a parent or, you know, a brother or a sister or a good friend that knows that you're trying to get off of something, they'd be like, yeah dude, just come over. You know, you can come over and use the upstairs bedroom at 3 o'clock every day. That's fine with us. Just you know, respect them when you do that. And so the third one is to be comfortable when you meditate. You want to wear comfortable pants, probably just like really light, you know, fabric pants, really loose-fitting shirt. You don't want anything tight. You don't want belts or trinkets, bracelets, that kind of stuff. You want to be completely just pretty much just your body and a loose pair of pants and a shirt. I would even discourage putting on socks. I would do my meditations barefoot. It relaxes the body. It helps you feel comfortable and in the zone. So that's my kind of check or suggestions. Another suggestion, I forgot about this, is to light incense. When you're beginning to do meditations and you can't get right into the zone immediately, quickly, like right up front when you first start meditating, lighting a stick of incense, especially a unique scent, a scent that you don't smell all the time, that you only smell when you're doing meditations, helps to bring your body into that state. It helps to bring your mind into the meditative state. You smell that smell, and you start to get used to it, and so whenever you smell that smell, your mind goes, time to meditate, let's start mellowing down. So that helps a lot too. As far as body postures go, I would recommend at first to sit upright. You want to probably get at the edge of a chair. Let's see if you can get this. Get at the edge of a chair, knees bent at 90-degree angle, like that. Put your hands on your thigh like that, you know, and sit up straight. You might want to kind of bow back and forth until you find, you know, your correct alignment. Maybe go back and front until you find your center of gravity. Find that center of gravity. Just place your hands on your knee like that, just nice and lightly, both hands on both knees. And you want to just close your eyes and relax all your muscles. We're going to talk about, you know, actually how to get into the meditation in the next video, but for right now we're just talking about the check kind of suggestions to get started. Another one is to lay down. Laying down is tricky. If you're not an experienced meditator, it is very easy to fall asleep. So unless you are, it's an option. If you want to try it, try it. But if you start falling asleep all the time, move to sitting up. Your back will hurt for the first little while, but after a while, you'll get used to it and it'll be fine. And another one is a lazy boy. If there's a lazy boy, you know, at your disposal, recline slightly, just enough so you're comfortable, but not so much that you completely crash and fall asleep. Falling asleep is probably the biggest pitfall when you first start meditating, especially if you start going with, you know, like the laying down posture. So just be conscious of that. Know that if you do start falling asleep, that's okay. Just find another posture that's not going to, you know, put you into the snooze zone. This is kind of a big thing. Excuse me. When you start meditating, and when you start getting into deep states of relaxation and trance, you may have some unusual experiences. Some of these experiences include out-of-body experience. You may suddenly feel yourself pop out of your body, and you know, suddenly you're in your room and your body is laying down on the bed or sitting in the chair, and it can be a frightening experience. People, even if you don't believe in out-of-body experiences, even if you don't believe there's any such thing as a soul, it will still happen. It's just a phenomenon. Whether it's all in your head or not, we don't know. there's ways to test it, yes, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Okay, so yeah, out-of-body experiences can be frightening when they happen, especially if you don't know what's going on. So just be aware of that when you start getting into the deeper trance states. It is a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. Another possibility are loud noises, such as you'll experience the sound of a train crashing right next to your head, or somebody yelling your name right in front of your face, and that can be startling. You'll come out of your trance immediately, and it'll be a strange experience. Just know that these are mechanisms of the mind that there's different theories as to why it happens, but some people believe that it's a mechanism to keep you from getting into too deep of a trance state, while other people think it's just a natural function of the mind when you get into such a relaxed state and you don't have a lot of input coming in visually or audibly. So don't let these things scare you. There are some experiences. Man, I have had some experiences that are out of control. Sometimes you'll find yourself suddenly standing on a beach, like in full, like you'll feel like you're actually really there, and that can be frightening. Let's see. Yeah, so the noises. Sometimes you'll look up and it'll appear there's somebody standing in your room. There's the old hag syndrome. Some people report, getting into a deep trance and looking up, and there's an old lady standing at the foot of their bed, or somebody, wrapped around your body, hanging onto you by your neck from behind, and you can't see him. There's some of these different experiences that do start happening. Do not be put off by them. They can be frightening, yes, but these are often referred to as makyo. They are illusions of whatever. They're just strange occurrences that happen when you meditate. The more you meditate, the less they happen. That's the important thing to note. I believe it's maybe some kind of like like the mind is awakening, that it's getting kick started into this new mode of functioning. And after you get used to it and you start meditating on a regular schedule, it'll happen less and less and less. So don't let those things put you off. That's why I'm bringing them up right now, so you're aware of them. So if they do happen, I'm not saying they're going to, but if they do happen, you will be like, oh yeah, that dude on that video said that this might happen. Okay, that's what's going on. It's just like something weird happening. No big deal. So, yeah, I think that about covers this. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah, because of what this is all about. Because we're talking about addiction and dealing with the subconscious mind and using the communication with the subconscious mind as a tool to alleviate addiction. You may have memories, long forgotten memories resurface. I've had this happen. I've had this happen 2 or 3 times, and sometimes they're disturbing memories that you blocked on purpose, or that you blocked to protect yourself, or something along the lines of that. And sometimes they're just strange memories that you forgot, but are significant to your current situation. So you have the possibility of having old memories surface. This is a good thing. You're in a meditative state when it happens. It's giving you a chance to recognize this thing that happened to you, or this incident or whatever, and is giving you the chance to open up to it, to accept it, and to finally be okay with it and move on with your life. And that, especially addicts, you guys have a good chance of this happening. I'm not, again, saying it's going to happen, but it very well could. So just be aware of that. You may have old memories surface. So just be prepared to handle some of this stuff. Because for some people, some of that stuff can be pretty intense. But when you're in the right state of mind and you're looking for healing, it really is a chance that your mind is presenting to you to heal an old wound. So if it does happen, take that opportunity to heal it. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. Okay, and the last thing is the symbolism. When you start getting into these deeper trance states, you will have visions, you will have experiences, you will have, sometimes you will be kicked into a lucid dream type of a state where you'll know you're meditating, but you will find yourself in some strange world with full consciousness, and there will be symbols, there will be people, there will be things happening. When this starts happening, make note of this stuff. When you come out of your meditation, write this stuff down. Keep track of all this stuff, because a lot of the stuff will be very, very key in your recovery. Now, speaking on symbolism, don't go out and buy a dream dictionary. Don't go out and look for somebody to interpret your dreams or your or your experiences for you. The only person that can interpret your experiences is you. When you see symbols, some symbols are pretty general symbols. Like the symbol of a key is the symbol of something that is key or something that opens something else. A symbol of a bright light is obviously the symbol of the source of light, or the source of something important. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is important. But when it comes to intricate symbols, which it often will, this is stuff that only you can decipher. So again, using meditation, after you write this stuff down, after you have these experiences, use meditation to decipher your experiences. You will be surprised at how well all this stuff starts to come together and click in and fit together. So that is this video, and looks like the next video we move on to will be Meditation 1, the basics. So yeah, this should be exciting. I think you excuse me, I've been talking for too much. I don't usually talk this much. So this should be exciting. This is going to be really cool. You guys are going to be really stoked and thrilled on just the cool stuff that you can do with meditation. And I've got some special little treats that are not in the ebook that I have discovered in the time since I wrote the ebook that I will put into video form. That is extremely helpful and actually really, really cool. So I'll look forward to that. I'll get this ebook covered and get this done all in video, and then we'll go into the more fascinating and intense stuff and some shortcuts. I've come across several very cool shortcuts. I may actually just inject some of this stuff in between some of these videos, because it's so crucial and important that it could help you get to some of these more advanced meditative states a lot faster than what I originally thought was possible. So there's some definitely very cool stuff coming up. good luck in your recovery. If you're just watching this because you're interested in meditation, follow along, because there's going to be some really cool stuff. I've got another YouTube channel I'm opening up specifically for meditation alone, not addiction related, but for more advanced meditative concepts that you guys will probably want to check out too as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow night when I do the next video. See ya.